Hey crafters, a very warm welcome to my video today. I'm going to mix things up as I always like to, and I'm going to be using some dies in our demonstration today. I'm going to be using our spring flower petals and stems, and I'm also going to be using our quirky vases. Alongside that, I'm going to be introducing you to our brand new Colour Shift ink pads. There are some beautiful colours in the collection. Not sure what I'm going to use yet. We have lots of different options for you. Very, very pretty. Very, very pretty. And I will talk you through what these beauties do and why we have introduced these into the range. There will be more to come, but this is the palette we have started with. Now, you might notice that you may have a couple of pinks and a couple of reds. You might have a couple of greens. You might even have, like you can see here, a couple of purples. Now, they're different, but they do blend, and this is the whole purpose of Colour Shift. Colour Shift is a colour changing ink on black and white cardstock, but it's also a blendable ink. And you'll see that when we create some of these gorgeous flowers and we do some colouring on the vases. So let's get started, and I will talk you through everything as we go. I have prepped a little bit because I feel that otherwise you are going to be with me for a long, long time, and there'll be some die cutting that you really don't need to see that I've done in advance of the demo. Now I'm going to bring in some colours that I really like. Well, I really like all of them, to be fair. I'm just trying to pick out what I think I might need for this one. As she says, as she literally shows almost all colours. I think it will be those. There's three I'm going to leave to one side. Who knows? Who knows where we'll end up? But I'm going to push some of them off screen for the moment, and we will revisit those shortly. So what do we get in the dies? Let's open a pack and show you. Now these are cool. These are all on one plate, and the reason they're on one plate is because I felt that some of these smaller elements here you might lose. What you will see, let me try and bring that up. Let me actually bring you right close in for this piece, and I will zoom you back out again in a moment. I'm going to bring in a card blank, actually, the card blank I'm using, but you'll see here, let me grab my tweezers. Here, you've got the solid metal here. So these are pieces that you do not break apart. So you'll see from here, all the way along here, they're all one piece. So what they're going to do is going to give you one flower, another flower, another flower, little buds and centres, okay? And the little centres that go with these, and the little centres again to go with these. So what we've done is we've kept everything we think you need together. The rest of the elements are separate, and then all you would do, I know I'm super close, all you would do is in these areas you will bend backwards and forwards and they will snap. A bit like when you've got an old credit card that you're going to dispose of backwards and forwards. You can get some snips as well, like jewellery snips, if you want to separate them. I actually don't even separate mine. I just run that through half a dozen times in white cardstock, and it gives me the ability to create so many flowers, all right? And you'll see what I mean as we get into demo. So that is your petals, and the largest kind of stem on here is 3.5 inches, around 9 centimetres, and it will be kind of one of these, okay? But honestly, when you start using them, you're going to love them, and you're going to see how many different ways you can use all of these flowers. These, quite possibly my favourite, quite possibly. However, we'll pop them to one side for now, and then we'll bring in the quirky vases. And again, cool, really cool. So in here, I've used these a lot. These are all separate for obvious reasons. They don't need to be put together, and they're not too small that you'll lose them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 vases. This is kind of your tray or your base or your shelf, whatever you want to call it. You've got your little element here, which creates your little bow around the front, should you want to, and a little tiny tag just for aesthetic reasons, really, because I think sometimes it looks really nice when you've got that little tag on there. Sits really cool. So that's your quirky vases. And then we're going to bring in the ink. And we're going to bring in some cardstock as well. Pretty much white cardstock. But the first thing I want to do is talk you through the ink and what we're going to do on our base layer. So this is my card blank. And again, I will give you the measurements. Now I'm just going to go off camera for a second. This is actually in centimetres, unfortunately, guys. This is close to 10 centimetres by 14.5 centimetres. I might end up trimming it down yet, I don't know. But it is a top folding card. And what I had is I had an 8x8 card and I used the other portion of it on another top folding card, and this was the piece I had left. So I didn't want to waste this. I thought this is going to be perfect for today's demonstration. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my ulti-mate. Now we don't need the ulti-mate for any other reason than I want to use this mat inside. Now these mats are available separately. There are silicone mats, but for me today, I'm literally going to use it like this. So you are super close, and you are super close because I want you to see everything I'm doing. What I will say is, because of the time of day of recording, the light is an absolute nightmare to get the shimmer. I'm going to do my absolute best to show you, but it's the nature of the beast. And I will, you'll see it when you get these, should you choose to get these inks. I've already decided there's a colour there that I want that's not in my pile, which is this. This is the Fruit Punch. So Fruit Punch, love it, love it, love it. And when you open it, it's got the foam base again, as do our interference inks, but this is a matte finish. So what do I mean by that? Let me bring in a random piece of card. Okay, let's find, yeah, this is just a random piece of card. So when you apply your ink, straight away, it dries really quickly, but it's blendable. Can you see that? Can you see how I'm blending that? There's absolutely no lines in that. Now, also what you're seeing is that shimmer coming through, but when I keep it flat, it looks quite matte, doesn't it? It looks quite matte until you tilt it. But that colour is ridiculously cool. So that one is your Fruit Punch because you've got that kind of yellow element on there. Now, let me give you another example. So let's pick, I haven't got the right brush for this one. Excuse me, dropping my brush. The Peanut Glow. So Peanut Glow is like a browny kind of colour. And let me pop some ink on here. We'll do the same thing. It's a delight, this colour. I absolutely love this. So when you put this ink down, you're like, oh, that's quite brown. But it isn't really brown. You'll see in a minute. And when I add that over here, let me give you a shimmer. Can you see that shine coming through? It's really difficult, but oh, there you go. So you've caught that shimmer straight away. Absolutely stunning, stunning results. Okay, so that is your Peanut Glow. You can see why it's called Peanut Glow. Now, the other thing you can do with them is if I bring in a touch of water. Now, obviously, I'm really close up to you at the moment. If I take the lid off my water and I pop water down, you still get the faux bleaching effect. Now, I don't know if you can see that yet on camera, but I'm going to literally grab my cloth and wipe some of this off and then hold it up for you. It's so lovely. Look at that. So you've now got the faux bleaching techniques that you can do as you would always do, but on this matte blending with the shimmer. Okay, so here I've cut some out here. We've got some of the vases as well. Now you can make choices. You can do your vases in a white and then ink, or you can cut them in black where they look quite cool as well. And actually the black ones, you can also do like drop shadows with them. So I'm going to bring in some of like the daisies because they're super pretty. And I've cut them on like a really pale grey. And I've also cut them on a white. And I've cut one of these as well. So I'm going to show you some different techniques how to use these. Now we've got that stem for the daisy here. And I think at the moment, that's all I need. Okay, pop them back here. So now if you want to do some inking, you can. And I'm going to kind of shift a lot of this to one side. Now it's not going to move very easily because it's on my mat. And what we want to do is create the illusion of daisies. Now by creating the illusion of daisies, you try and put the minimal amount of colour on. And I'll show you what I mean. So if I bring one here, a couple here, so let's do this one first. You can see you've got some colour on there, but a very little colour. Okay, and on this one, a little bit more colour, but it still looks like a daisy. And we've got the leaves as well to concentrate on. So what we'll do is we'll look at doing some I'll look at doing some of the daisies for you, just to show you how I do them. And then we can use the ones that we've already got made as well. So we've got that under the sea, and we've got blue on our brush already. I don't want you to put any more colour on your brush. I just want you to kind of go round the edge delicately, just to give a tiny tone of colour. Can you even see that? I'm hoping you can a little bit, but I don't think you'll see a lot, all right? And then also what I did have in here, sorry, I didn't bring them on, is, let me get my, where's my tweezers? Somewhere safe here. We've got these little pieces in the middle. This is why they were all put onto one die, so you can cut them all in one pass. And these little pieces you can do in yellow. Now we haven't got a bright yellow in the first release, but we have got the gold if you wanted to. But as I haven't got a bright yellow, I'm going to bring in just a matte blending ink. And I'm just going to do a couple of these flowers. That's all I'm going to do like that. And actually on the daisy, you can, if you want to, come in with a little colour. You can. You don't have to, but you can. And then what I will do is I'll come in with that peanut glow, which is cool. Not with that one, that's for sure. And then I'll add a little bit of the peanut glow to the edge, which is that kind of, it is kind of brown, but when you pop it on top of the yellow, it looks really cool and gives a really nice gold shine. So to create the flower, that's simply all you do. And then you'll pop your glue in the middle. I'm going to pop the lid back in my glue for now. And then you'll take your flower center. And then you'll place it on like so. And that's all you need to do to kind of create your daisy as such, okay? Again, you can kind of mix colours up a little bit. This has been a bit heavier coloured. It's entirely up to you, okay? So that's how you create the daisy. Let me just give a little wipe off here. We don't want the mess here because we've got other colours to use. And then to do the leaves, right, you can do this on all your leaves. I love, this is my favourite stem, my absolute favourite stem. So what I would highly recommend is you take 2 greens. And I'm going to take, first of all, the Summer Sky, and I've got the Avocado Gold here as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Summer Sky, and I'm going to ink. I'm just going to literally dab all over. So straight away you've got this really vibrant, almost limey green. And you can see that ink on the desk there as well. And then I'll wipe this off on a piece of tissue because there's still a lot of colour on there. And then we'll come in with that avocado gold because this green is completely different. And then all you do is tap again and you can add more colour, okay, randomly where you want to build it up. So you might want darker edges, you might want light edges, whatever you choose, just go for. And that's all you do to create one of the leaves. Let me lift that up again. Can you see that again? And you've got different, sorry, the light, you've got different tones in there and you can still see that shimmer coming through, hopefully. There we go. Then I'm going to absolutely wipe this off because there's a lot on there. What you can do, if you want to, bring in one of your other leaves, like this one. You can tap that in there. Move it around. Because you've got a lot of colour there. Lift that up. There you go, and you've coloured another leaf. Okay. I'll put that to one side and that will dry beautifully. But let's wipe this off so you can see what a useful set of colours these are. They really are lovely. So there we go, that's done nicely. Okay, you see that? How gorgeous is that? My hands are so tanned at the moment. I do apologise, it's making everything look quite dark. Smooth that out for you. Okay, so bring this back in now. So now I'm going to use one of the vases, okay? And what I'm going to do with the vase is I'm going to show you how I do the blending on the vase. So this time I'm going to use the Lagoon Punch. I'm actually going to move all of these off of here so I've got some space to work in and so I don't contaminate. Shows how good the silicone mat is because it holds them all on the desk really lovely. Take that one out as well. So this is the Lagoon Punch and it looks green but it's quite dark. I will use the green brush, however it is a lot darker than you think. So I'm actually going to put a piece of paper underneath just so we don't have a big hot mess to clear up. So Lagoon Punch. Now look at that. It looks green, doesn't it there? But it isn't green. It's so cool. And then we literally can come in here sideways and we do our blending. So you can totally cover this. I'm going to turn it around this way. Bring that in like so. What a beautiful colour this is. Just down here. And you're going to see in a minute why I bought that peanut glow as part of this collection rather than a yellow. So now you've got that beautiful dark colour. I'm going to wipe my fingers off just with some water. Keep it nice and clean. Now that colour you think is really dark, really dark. Put the lid on it. That's called Lagoon Punch, right? Now I spritz water on here. I don't know if you can see that. Let me come in a little bit. I'm hoping, yeah, you can start to see it there. Look, can you see it started to react and all the little splatters around here? Now let me bring this up and let's see when I do Hang on a second, let me see if I can get that for you. I'm hoping you could see some of the purple starting. The purple is starting to come through. It's because it's still wet, but you've got the purple. Oh, it's so tricky to see. I did tell you it was that time of day. You actually can see it better on this. Yeah, you can see it better on that. But it obviously, as you can see, as it's drying, you get that beautiful purple coming through. And it's because it's matte as well. That's the reason. So now you've got this beautiful, beautiful shape. Okay. And then I'm going to bring another piece of cardstock in. And I'm going to bring in that peanut glow. And the peanut glow, this is what I love. You can now do your shading. So along this side, I'm going to bring that in and it's going to look like verdigris. It's so cool. So, so cool. And I'm hoping when I hold this up, you can see. I'm hoping you can get an idea of how these blend and work together. Okay. I'm going to lift this up and see if we can get you a... Yeah, I think you can see it. It's troubling my light. Honestly, it's very frustrating. Yeah, I think you're getting it there. There you go. So you've created almost like the shadow effect on the top of the vase. And you can do that for all of the colours if you want to. So now what we can do is we can look at all of our flowers and go, oh, look at what we've got. We've got these beautiful daisies. Like so. Pop that like that. Hang on a minute. Bring my vase back in. Pretty already. Got another one. I put at a different angle. You can pop that one in your vase as well. So there we are. You could leave it like so. You could put some foliage in. I don't think I need any foliage, but you'll see what I mean if I bring in... Have I got some darker foliage? Let's see. I think... Right, hang on. Let me grab this one. This is a bit darker. I don't know if we need any darker foliage, but you could, if you wanted to, add in some foliage. That would be quite nice. This is actually an A5 card. Literally an A5 card. And I will take everything out of the way and I'll bring in my trimmer, my lovely trimmer from my collaboration with Spellbinders, and I'm going to trim it to 10 centimetres, which is 4 inches. Discard that piece. And then let me check the size. Yep, that's right. And then that will measure, that way is just under 6 inches. Let's make it 5.5. Okay. There we go. So you didn't have to take a lot off. So that's our card base. And I think now let's bring that in. We're going to pop that there. We're going to pop these underneath. We're going to pop these onto this card. But I'm thinking about adding the tray. So we have the little tray at the bottom and then we can add another flower. So let's come back. We really did go off piece today, didn't we? So let's make the tray from the peanut glow. Just by adding the ink all over. Turn this around. Perfect. There's our peanut glow. And it really does glow. Again, I'm going to do that thing. I'm going to try. Oops. Yeah. It's just catching it at the right angle. Just catching it. The light likes it sometimes and sometimes it doesn't. Leave that there. And then I need another vase. So I want a smaller vase. If I look at this one, I want a smaller vase. Do I want that one or do I want that one? I'm just working out for myself. I think I'm going to go with that one because they're quite modern. Okay. And this time, I think we're going to go with the avocado. I'm going to kind of keep it all tonal, I think. The avocado gold. You see how easy it is to cover these. Beautiful. And then I might even bring in a little bit of the Lagoon Punch. The Lagoon Punch is that dark colour, as we know. And I'm going to put a tiny piece. You see it looks very blue up there, so I'm going to take off so much. And I'm just going to come over lightly. See that? Let me bring it down. Just lightly. Just ridiculously beautiful. The more I use these inks, the more I love them, and the more I can see the benefit of some other colours as well, you know. Just so lovely. Okay, so that's the next one. And I've got flowers already made. So we're now going to bring back in our card. Take our base. Yeah, I'm not even going to put a sentiment on this one. I'm just going to have the base, and so it's at an angle, but it actually works better for me when I'm trying to lay things out. I'm going to pop that here, although let me try and get straight. So I'm going to glue the base on. I'm going to go about there, I think. I'm going to hold it up, see if I'm happy. Yep, super happy with that. And now I'm literally going to mount these on foam pads, I think, because it makes it easier for me. To lay something on them. You see that? I feel like if I put foam pads on, I can add some flowers behind. So I'll take a couple of foam pads. Oh, I'm going to drop them there. So I'm going to take that one and I'm going to pop the foam pad here. And I'm going to take some scissors and I'm going to cut this one. Actually, I'll cut it this way first. I'll get that one ready. And I'm going to cut it in half. Okay, pop that there. And I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to pop that one near the top. Then I'll grab another one for here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and pop the flowers just in this area here. So I need to decide how high they need to be. And I know this one, if I do it there, I want it like that, and then I want that one a little bit higher. So what I might do is I might get these lined up first. I'm going to put some glue on here. Okay, like so. So I know they're stuck together. And then I can trim this off the bottom. And I think I can put that around there. Is that making sense? So now I know I can put some more tape at the top because it's not going to interfere at all. And this is great because we're on our silicone mat, so I'll be able to lift this off. It will make sense in a minute. And what I'll do is I'll pop that like so. And now, even though I've put the tape on, I can still lift it off, but they're stuck to the back. I could, if I want to, tape those down, but I don't think I need to. Again, this one. And then I've got some smaller flowers. Like so. I actually feel like we might only need one in there. Yeah, we're going to go for the one. So I'm going to turn that over. Again, I'm going to place my flower roughly where I think it's going to be. That's fine. Now I can pop my little bit of tape on. And actually this one is going to be ideal. Lift that one off. Take this one off. And this one off. Turn this one around. And then I'm going to pop that quite high, I think. I feel I'm going to have to chop those little leaves off at the side, or it won't look correct in the vase. We can move those out of the way in a minute. I'll put that back down here. And now that's better. So I can pop that like so. And now, how cute is that? Like so. I do have somewhere one of the little pieces to go round. That one. And I'm going to pop that one on there. The other one I'm not going to pop one on. This one I am. There we are. Like so. You can add your own sentiment to that, but I think that looks super cool. So let me move all of this out of the way. What a messy desk. What a messy desk. So what we've done is we've created, look, a super cool card. Now that look at them, they look like they're bouncing off the page. So you can add them with a little bit of glue. I think I'm going to trim that off at the bottom just slightly, which I absolutely can. And I'll pop that in here just to give me, there we are. I think that sits much better. So we've now got that super, look at that. Isn't that cute? All done with ink and nothing else. So I hope you enjoyed that. That was using our brand new Colour Shift ink and also Quirky Vase die, and also using the spring flowers, petals and stems. So hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment if you do. It would be really nice to know what you think of them. And I hope you give this a go because it's really, really easy to do. And I will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.